I'm Robert Burke Warren, and welcome to an Americana Christmas, coming to you from the beautiful Bearsville Theater on the outskirts of Woodstock, New York, the most famous small town in America.
Candles on the mantle, pencil on the tree, mistletoe hanging for my baby. Things on the welcome, singing about the holiday. Merry Christmas, Mama, it's Christmas time again.
Woodstock has always been about music, and music has always been about bringing people together. It makes us feel our connection to one another, and neither rain, sleet, snow, or this damn pandemic will stop us from making it and sharing it. So support live music, however you can.
Here comes Santa Claus, ho, 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 Mr. Comet and Cupid know the way.
We know you can't get out to shows these days, so we're bringing the show to you. The holiday season is upon us, and we've got some great folks here on the Bearsville Theater stage to help us get into the spirit. Woodstock legends Ungar and Molly Mason, Lara Hope with her band the Ark Tones, plus we've got wonderful archival Bearsville Theater performances from Happy Traum's Solstice celebration shows, and some conversation with author John Millward about Woodstock's place in Americana music. I'll be sharing some holiday chestnuts from Jesse Winchester, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer and our neighbor John Sebastian, the fantastic Jill Sobule, singer-songwriter Pat Alger, and the uniquely gifted Geoff Muldaur. And now, to get us in the Christmas party mood, here's Geoff Muldaur with his daughter Claire on lead vocal, accompanied by jazz legend and Woodstocker Roswell Rudd on trombone at the Christmas Ball.
It's Christmas time, Claire.
And I'm getting ready for it, Daddy. Christmas comes but once a year, and to me it brings good cheer, and to everyone who likes wine and beer. Happy New Year is after that. Happy I'll be, that is a fact. That is why I like to hear folks that say that Christmas is here. Christmas bells will ring real soon, even in the afternoon. Them big old chimes will ring at the Christmas ball. Everyone must watch theirself, or they will lose their rep. Everybody's full of pep at the Christmas ball. Grab your partner, one and all. Keep on dancing round the hall. And there's no one to fall. Don't you dare to stall. And if your partner don't act fair, don't you worry, there's there's some more over there, taking a chance everywhere at the Christmas ball. We're taking a chance everywhere at the Christmas ball.
That was Geoff Muldaur's At the Christmas Ball, originally cut by Bessie Smith in 1925, getting us off to a rollicking start here on An Americana Christmas. And now, I'm excited to introduce y'all to my friend John Millward, with whom I've shared many a Woodstock stage. I even had the honor of playing the Buddy Holly song Not Fade Away at his wedding. John has written about music and popular culture for more than 40 years, contributing to Rolling Stone, the New York Times, the LA Times, and the Boston Globe, among many others. He is the author of Crossroads, How the Blues Shaped Rock and Roll and Rock Saved the Blues, and the soon-to-be-released Americanaland, Where Country and Western Met Rock and Roll. John, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Robert.
It's often been said that it's hard to define Americana music, but you know it when you hear it. Can you talk a bit about that?
Personally, I went to Merriam-Webster, who defines it as a genre of American music having roots in early folk and country music, and added rock and roll, bluegrass, and folk into my history, which really runs from the Bristol sessions with Jimmy Rogers and the Carter family up through the pandemic.
I'm glad you mentioned the Bristol sessions, often called the Big Bang of country music. Do you consider the Basement Tapes and the band the Big Bang of Americana? I mean, what's your take on that?
Well, to follow up on the Big Bang notion for a minute, I would say the Manhattan Project was the mid-'50s with Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Carl Perkins having records that went to the top of the country, the R&B, and the pop charts at the same time. So that's the essence of what Americana presumes to be. And the Basement Tapes are certainly a latter version of that. In a way, Dylan was going through his own back pages, singing Johnny Cash songs and all manner of old folk songs, and kind of updating his appreciation of the Harry Smith anthology. The remarkable thing about the Basement Tapes, beyond the fact that it explored all these sort of what music that became known as Americana, was that he also composed a whole album of incredible songs that he never packaged as an album in 1967. Though all those songs were sent off to Manfred Mann with The Mighty Quinn and You Ain't Going Nowhere, which ended up on the Byrds' Sweetheart of the Rodeo. Yeah, I'd say 1967 in terms of Americana was a big year.
John, thanks for those insights. And thanks for coming in and being part of an Americana Christmas.
Thank you, Robert.
And everybody look for John Millward's Americanaland in bookstores spring of 2021. Speaking of the aforementioned band, here they are, singing Christmas Must Be Tonight.
Come down to the manger, see the little stranger, wrapped in swaddling, lo, the Prince of Peace. The wheels start turning, torches start burning, and behold, wise men journey from the east. How a little baby boy bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. A shepherd on the hillside, where over my flock I abide. On a cold winter night, a band of angels sing. In a dream I heard a voice say, fear rejoice. It's the end of the beginning. Praise the newborn King. Our little baby boy, bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Saw it with my own eyes, written up in the sky. The quiet, simple herdsman such as I. And then it came to pass, he was born at last, right below the star that shines on high. Our little baby boy, bring the people so much joy. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Son of a carpenter, Mary carried the light. This must be Christmas, must be tonight. Be tonight. Be tonight. Be tonight. Be tonight.
Coming up next is a tune by the wonderful Jesse Winchester, whose debut album was produced by Robbie Robertson with Levon Helm on drums. Rolling Stone hailed the recording as organic Americana, and Bob Dylan said, "You can't talk about the best songwriters and not include him." Here's a little backstory on the next tune. In 1967, faced with the impending draft, Jesse became a conscientious objector and moved to Montreal. He often joked that he should have checked first, since he didn't speak French. Merde. Anyway, it was a cold winter, and I guess he probably missed home, so he wrote Mississippi, You're on My Mind. And then he and Robbie wrote this next song about a little four-letter word, snow.
I was tuning in the 6 o'clock newscast, and the weatherman mentioned snow. As soon as I heard that four-letter word, I was making my plans to go. If I was a bird, I could fly back south. Up there, I could go to sleep. But anything rather than hang around here when the snow starts getting deep. Now you know what they say about snowflakes, how there ain't no two the same. Well, all them flakes look alike to me. Everyone is a dirty shame. My ears are cold, my feet are cold. Bermuda stays on my mind. And I'm here to say that if winter comes, the spring is way behind. No furry hat. I don't have no long john underwear, no layer of protective fat. I take a plane right to sunny Spain, but I don't have no dough. But I'd build a bridge and I'd walk there to get away from all that snow. Oh, I would build a bridge and walk there to get away.
Up next, Kingston's own Lara Hope and the Ark Tones. This combo hit the ground running in 2012, releasing music and barnstorming the country with their distinctive blend of roots, rock and roll, and rockabilly twang. Despite COVID, Lara, with Eddie Ryan on lead guitar and Matt Goldpaw on Doghouse bass, have kept busy with weekly live streams, an album, Songs in the Key of Quarantine, and the COVID-themed song and video, No Time to Get Bored. Check them out at LaraHopeandtheArktones.com. Here they are, right here, right now, socially distanced on the Bearsville Theater stage, with some great advice for everyone stuck at home. No time to get bored.
I know the world's gone crazy and you don't know what to do, but I am here to help you make it through. You might not even know what day or week it is, but I am used to that because I work in showbiz. You might be bored of keeping your hands clean. Well, here are some suggestions thanks to COVID-19. Oh, you can meditate or write some poetry. Eat a snack whenever you're hungry. You can talk to your plants, try on all your pants, write your will, and then learn calligraphy. Or you can practice yoga, then go dye your hair. You can go outside and breathe in some fresh air. You can knit or crochet, maybe you'll learn today. You can even organize your Tupperware, because we're quarantined. There ain't much that we can still afford. Oh yes, we're quarantined, but you don't have to be bored. Oh, you can read a book or sing a little song. Take a nap, then learn to play mahjong. You can paint, you can pray. What have you done today? If you've got roommates, I sure hope you get along. Oh, you can call your ex and tell them that you're stable.
Hey, baby.
You can memorize the periodic table. You can learn taekwondo. You can marry a condo. You can watch Lifetime as long as you have cable. Because we're quarantined. There ain't much that we can still afford. Oh yes, we're quarantined, but you don't have to be bored. Oh, you can look at puppies on the internet.
Yeah, puppies.
Or do aerobics till you break a sweat. You can watch all of Star Wars, clean all of your drawers. You can learn the Hebrew alphabet. Go study language you can learn from Duolingo. You can organize a solo game of bingo. You can blog, play guitar, baby, you will go far. You can decorate your yard with a flamingo, because we're quarantined. There ain't much that we can still afford. Oh yes, we're quarantined, but you don't have to be bored. So don't you tell me that you've got nothing to do. If you still don't, the problem might be you. So just get off of your ass, wipe your face, raise your glass. I promise that we're gonna make it through. Gonna make it through. Gonna make it
Lara Hope and the Ark Tones. That was rockin'. Thank you so much for being a part of an Americana Christmas. It is so wonderful to hear live music in the Bearsville Theater again.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Tell us a little bit about this COVID anthem, No Time to Get Bored.
Well, March 11th, 2020, we were planning on leaving for a 6-week tour, and then it got canceled. Same day as we closed on our first home, so things had really changed a lot for us over the course of 24 hours, and we suddenly found ourselves in this new space that I think lent itself to being a good place to create and having all this free time. So we decided to kind of channel our energy, and we wrote and recorded ourselves for the first time an EP called Songs in the Key of Quarantine. And I guess the single off that is No Time to Get Bored, which is kind of a rule book or a guide, a reference, I'll call it, to all the things you can do if you're stuck home during quarantine and you're not really sure what to do with all of your newfound free time. Or if, you just have some extra time and you're at home and you're not sure how to fill it, this will give you lots of ideas.
You've really kept busy with a new album and these live streams. Can you talk a bit about that?
Yeah, we hopped on the live stream train pretty early. Once we saw that all the shows were canceled and we saw a couple people started to do live streams, we said, hey, we could do this. So we've done a live stream every single Monday with the exception of 1 week that I had to go to traffic court since March. And the coolest thing about it is that we've developed this core group of people that tune in every single Monday night. I mean, given there are stragglers and we encourage, more people, everyone, please tune in, any and every Monday. But this group that from all over the country and some even from Europe, some of them we've never met, some we've maybe met once at a show, that tune in every single Monday. And because it's online and there's a chat, they've all become friends with each other and they've developed this rapport. And it was kind of magical.
Oh, thanks again for coming in and being a part of an Americana Christmas, you guys. We really appreciate it. Your enthusiasm is contagious, and it's really inspiring the way you've kept on, keeping on, doing what you do. Thanks again for coming in. Have a wonderful holiday.
Thank you for doing this.
One of the most beloved Woodstock Christmas traditions began in another troubled time, when people were forced to cut back, make do with less, and to trust a new commander-in-chief to figure it all out. Sound familiar? Here's that true story about a kind Woodstock woman whose generosity inspired the whole town to come together in the dark days of the Great Depression.
Christmas Eve, 1932, Woodstock, New York. Like the rest of America, this little Catskills town is in the depths of the Great Depression. FDR is promising a new deal to relieve the country of its economic woes. But on this cold Christmas Eve in 1932, hopes for better times in Woodstock have dimmed with the shortening days. Children are not expecting much in the way of gifts from Santa Claus. Agnes Schleicher, proprietress of the Jack Horner shop, wants to bring some light in, some hope. She has conspired with the town of Woodstock and the choir and musicians of the Old Dutch Church on Tinker Street to bring the community together with a free outdoor Christmas show in front of the church. December 24th, 1932, is a Saturday. At 6 p.m., the bells begin ringing down at the Old Dutch Church, down Tinker Street, where the street lamps have just come alight. Neighbors excitedly leave their homes, rushing over the shoveled sidewalks, snow crunching underfoot. A sweet anticipation warms the air as all converge on the village green. The street lamps suddenly go out. A spotlight cuts through the darkness and alights on the steeple and facade of the church. As the choir sings Silent Night, the spotlight dims, followed by rapturous applause. Just when the townfolk think it's all over, sleigh bells jingle in the near distance. A cheer goes up and someone yells, "Santa Claus!" As Agnes had planned, Santa is making his way slowly up Mill Hill Road in a Ford Model A pickup. He hollers, "Ho, ho, ho!" He steps out with the pack slung over his back. From the village green, Santa distributes gifts to over 150 Woodstock children. For many, this is the only gift they will receive this Christmas. In years to come, Agnes Schleicher's gift to the community will become a tradition. The Woodstock community will undergo many changes. Sons go off to war. Rock and roll arrives. Then the 60s, the festival, Albert Grossman's Bearsville Enterprises, and a new millennium. Christmas Eve on the Woodstock Green continues through it all. Santa eventually becomes the main event, the mode of his arrival a closely guarded secret, a big reveal in front of a growing crowd. It will change every year. The funding for it all comes from local businesses. The Old Dutch Church Choir and a small ensemble continue to play classic carols, and stores offer hot chocolate in paper cups to ward off the December chill. Friends meet and catch up. As the event morphs, the most important aspect remains. Christmas Eve on the Woodstock Green offers everyone a feeling of connection to something greater than themselves. Thank you, Agnes Schleicher, for starting it all. And thank you to all who worked with her in the dark, uncertain times of 1932 to bring light to Woodstock. And thanks to Santa for showing up every year.
Since 1999, Happy Traum's winter solstice celebration has helped Woodstockers bring light into the world and keep the local arts alive. Of course, it's on hold in 2020, but nevertheless, we've got a wonderful song to share with you from the Bearsville Theater archives. This 2009 performance of Stephen Foster's Hard Times Come Again No More was particularly special. The Bearsville audience witnessed an intensely moving version of an American standard that has great meaning this year. Feel free to sing along at home. Here's Hard Times Come Again No More.
Let us pause in life's pleasures and count its many tears, while we all sup sorrow with the poor. There's a song that has lingered forever in our ears. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. As we seek mirth and beauty and lightness all the day, there are pale forms fading at the door. Though their voices are silent, their pleading looks will say, oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis a song, a sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. There's a pale, drooping maiden who toils her life away with a worn heart whose better days are ours. Though her voice may be merry, she's sighing all the day. Oh, hard times come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the weary. Hard times come again no more. Many days you have lingered around my cabin door. Oh, hard times come again no more. Oh, hard times come again no more.
That was beautiful. You know, Happy has brought so much to the Woodstock community and beyond. For over 5 decades, his homespun tapes has kept alive the folk tradition of trading licks and sharing songs. Homespun features the largest catalog of roots music lessons anywhere, the original masterclass. Check him out at homespuntapes.com. Now, I am pleased to welcome to An Americana Christmas consummate teacher, performer, and keeper of the flame, Happy Traum. I was recently reading in Small Town Talk, but you moved here in 1965 to live with your wife Jane, and so you've been here through so much. And my question is, a lot obviously has changed in Woodstock, in the music scene, but I'm curious, what has remained the same through all those decades of music in Woodstock?
Jane and I first visited our musician friends in Woodstock in 1965 or so. We came up to see John Harold and Billy Fair, both of whom were friends, both from New York and had been living here for quite a while. So it kind of introduced us to the music community here, although we already had known many people from New York City, including Bob Dylan and Albert Grossman and many other people that we knew from the folk and sort of folk rock scene in the city. And we entered a very tight-knit and very beautiful community, really. Not so much with the big stars, but with the people who were kind of just making a living, nitty-gritty folk and country and bluegrass musicians like John Harold, like Bill Keith, Jim Rooney, people who eventually formed the core of the Woodstock Mountains Review back later in the 70s. And Woodstock has both stayed the same and changed dramatically. The way it stayed the same, I think, is that it's still attracting artists and musicians, and there are many young, talented musicians. Now I've been here more than 50 years, and I'm still seeing really fine musicians coming into town and making a difference to the community in many ways. So I think Woodstock remained a magnet for talented people of all stripes, and I certainly hope it continues that way into the future.
Can you tell me why you chose this particular song for the Solstice concert?
We had been doing the Solstice concert for quite a number of years already, and we constantly are thinking about songs that would fit the theme of both community and helping out our neighbors, which is the idea of the Solstice concert. It was always a benefit for the Woodstock Bird Cliff Guild, and they really were instrumental in helping us start these solstice concerts. But we also like to raise money for other causes as well. So Hard Times Come Again No More, which is a 150 or so year old song, has the universal feeling of feeling empathy and feeling sorrow for people who are less well off than you. And Stephen Foster, of course, who's known for a lot of zippity-doo-dah type songs, This was one of his more brilliant and long-lasting songs. I mean, it's been sung, and it's had a huge renaissance in recent years. There have been dozens and dozens of recordings of it. And with the singers that we have on our show, with Teresa Williams and Amy Helm and Eugene Ruffalo and Byron Isaacs, I mean, those guys are such beautiful singers that I tried to think of a song that would both encompass a certain sentiment, and also that would encompass people's ability to harmonize. So it was perfect for those things.
Thanks for being here today.
My pleasure.
Happy's old friend and one-time bandmate from the Woodstock Mountains Review, singer-songwriter Pat Alger, followed his muse to Nashville, where his tunes got covered by Garth Brooks, Dolly Parton, Don Williams, and Trisha Yearwood, to name a few. He came back north to Bearsville to grace a solstice celebration with this number about a Southern boy going home for the holidays, something I can sure relate to. Take it away, Pat.
I'm gonna make it home by Christmas, down among the Georgia pines, and sing a few songs about Jesus with a good friend of mine. You know Mama's gonna be in the kitchen, baking up a pumpkin pie. I've been away so long that my accent's gone. Everyone's gonna wonder why. And Mason Dixon's on the line. We'll tell him that I'm doing fine, and buy us a bottle of bonded whiskey, and we'll talk over old times. Well, they put a new fountain in the town square. They built a new statue too. Oh, the place may change, but the faces are the same, ones I always knew. And Mason Dixon's on the phone. We'll tell him that I'm coming home, and buy us a bottle of Tennessee whiskey, and we'll talk until dawn. Heart's still down in Dixie, Mr. Larry, down among the Georgia pines. And when these cold winds blow, I long to go and see those friends of mine. And Mason Dixon's on the line. We'll tell him that I'm doing fine, and buy us some bottle of any kind of whiskey. We'll talk some more old times. It's the Big Dixon's on the line. We'll tell him that I'm doing fine, and buy us a bottle of whiskey. We'll talk over old times. I'm gonna sing a few songs about Jesus with a good friend of mine.
All right. Well, thank you.
Christmas is usually represented as a Norman Rockwell or Hallmark event, with family gathered around the fireplace in reindeer sweaters, singing hymns and drinking cocoa. Wrong. If you've ever watched Schitt's Creek, Modern Family, any Wes Anderson movie, or Congress for that matter, you know that modern families come in all shapes, sizes, and shades of dysfunction. For instance, Here's a song by Americana pioneer Robert Earl Keen, performed by Jill Sobule, whose first album was produced by Todd Rundgren right here in Bearsville. She is one of the most versatile, entertaining artists you'll ever hear. If you don't know her, check her out. You'll get the idea. Here's Merry Christmas from the Family.
Ken brought his kids with him, the 3 from his first wife, Lynn, and the 2 identical twins from his second wife, Mary Nell. Of course he brought his new wife, Kay, who talks all about AA, chain smoking while the stereo plays Noel, Noel, the first Noel. Carve the turkey, turn the ball game on, mix margaritas when the eggnog's gone, send somebody to the quick pack store, we need some ice and an extension cord. Tampons and some Marlboro lights. Well, hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Fran and Rita drove from Harlingen. I can't remember how I'm kin to them, but when they tried to plug their motor home in, they blew all Christmas lights. Cousin David knew just what went wrong, so we waited on our front lawn. He threw the breaker and the lights came on, and we sang Silent Night, oh Silent Night. Call the turkey, turn the ball game on, make Bloody Marys 'cause we all want one. Send somebody to the stop and go. We need some celery and a can of fake snow, a bag of lemons and some Diet Sprite, a box of tampons and some Salem lights. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Hallelujah, everybody say cheese. Merry Christmas from the family. Feliz Navidad.
It wouldn't be a Christmas show without a Hanukkah song. A lot of my friends celebrate both, which brings me to Woodstock's own Emmy-nominated J. Ungar and Molly Mason. This duo has been making music together for decades. They've graced stages all over the world, from a Prairie Home Companion to the BBC's Transatlantic Sessions. Here's Lights of Hanukkah from Jay and Molly.
Now it's Hanukkah, lights of Hanukkah, shining bright on a winter's night. Nights of Hanukkah, lights of Hanukkah, let me warm my soul in your joyous light. Children are the true lights of Hanukkah, shining bright on a winter's night. As they dance and sing and their voices ring, let me warm my soul in your joyous light. Oh, children are the true lights of Hanukkah, shining bright on a winter's night. As they dance and sing and their voices ring, let me warm my soul in your joyous light.
Jay Ungar and Molly Mason, thank you so much for being here on An Americana Christmas. Welcome.
Our pleasure. What a joy.
Thank you.
Much fun.
Thank you especially for bringing Lights of Hanukkah into the house and bringing the Hanukkah vibe. Jay, tell me about that song.
I wrote it for my daughter, Ruthie.
I know her.
Also known as Ruth Miranda or Ruth Ungar Miranda of the Mammals.
Yes. Well, I want to talk a bit about the Ashokan Center, and I know that that you have kept going at the Ashokan Center. All of us in this pandemic times have done what we can to keep going, and I know that there's been a move to a lot of more obviously virtual events over there. Can you tell me about how that's been going?
One of the great things about virtual, when you do something on the ground, we're calling those terrestrial these days.
I like that.
You need more lead time because people have to take time off from work or their lives and, pack and travel and all that.
Figure out what to do with their pets while they're gone.
But with virtual events, they can drop in and drop out. They can be doing something else and jump in for an hour of it. So we find that we can get things going with only a few weeks lead time. And I say that because we're just beginning to plan something for New Year's Eve.
Okay, yeah, I know that something's going to happen. I just
Something
know
will
that we
happen.
cannot be stopped. That's what we're doing here today. Is that people can't go out to shows. They can't go to the Ashokan Center to go to a camp or to a show or to an event or anything like that. So at least for right now, I keep saying for right now. But going forward, I know that you guys will keep providing opportunities for people to get together in various ways at the Ashokan Center. So
we're reaching people we never could have reached before who may never be able to come here. We've had people in Australia, New Zealand, Tokyo,
Hawaii.
Wow. Yes, there is that side of it, which is an upside, and will probably continue post-COVID. Where can people find out more about this?
Ashokan Center, ASHOKAN Center.org.
Thank you so much, Jay and Molly, for coming by and being part of Americana Christmas. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
We had a blast. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. One of the best things to do in lockdown is to make music in your own home. And that's what I did not too long ago with some friends of mine. It wouldn't be a Christmas show without a novelty song from Gene Autry. So here's our rendition of Gene's Santa Claus is Coming in a Whirlybird. Must have been Los Angeles.
The news is out and I've been told it came by wire from the great North Pole. I'm sure each boy and girlie heard Santa Claus is coming in a whirlybird. coming in a whirly bird. Christmas night in a whirly bird. So if you're good goof, the whirly bird's gonna land on your roof. Santa's coming in a whirly bird. He turned his reindeer out to graze. Donner and Blitzen were amazed. But Rudolph said with a happy shout, I'll go with Santa and help him out. Santa's coming in a whirly bird, Christmas night in a whirly bird. So if you're good and you don't goof, the whirly bird's gonna land on your roof. Santa's coming in a whirly bird. I know that it may sound absurd, Santa bringing toys in a whirly bird, but Santa's been checking with the U.S. mail, and with a helicopter he can't fail. Santa's coming in a whirly bird, Christmas night in a whirly bird. So if you're good and you don't goof, the whirly bird's gonna land on your roof. Whirly bird, whirly bird, whirly bird, whirly bird. Santa's coming in a whirly bird. There's a bike for Mike and Mo, a talking doll for Jane and Joe. There'll be toys for every child if you promise not to drive your mom and daddy wild. Santa's coming in a whirly bird, Christmas night in a whirly bird. So if you're good and you don't goof, the whirly bird's gonna land on your roof. Whirly bird, whirly bird, whirly bird, whirly bird. Santa's coming in a whirly bird.
Where to begin with our neighbor John Sebastian? For starters, his work with the Lovin' Spoonful is part of the bedrock of 60s popular music. He's a blues scholar and harmonica virtuoso, a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and his song Welcome Back was an integral part of my childhood. In addition to all of the above, John wrote Have a Good Woodstock Christmas, and in 1987 recorded it with the stellar NRBQ and a chorus of Woodstock kids. Proceeds went to the Woodstock Community Center, which, just like John, is still going strong. We're going to let John and NRBQ take us out and into the holidays and beyond. From me, Robert Burke Warren, and all of us here at the Bearsville Theater, thank you for your support as we renew this wonderful place. We wish you and your friends and loved ones all good things in the coming year. Until we connect again, stay safe, do for others, let others do for you, and keep the music in your heart.
As the winter winds start blowing and the snow falls on the ground, then however far I've wandered, I'll come back to my hometown, where the people greet you softly and invite you to stop by, where the folks still sing at Christmas and the spirit's still alive. Have a good Woodstock Christmas to every boy and girl. Have a good Woodstock Christmas and the best year in this world. Now the path has not been easy since Christmas time last year, and sometimes it's hard believing all those Christmas songs we hear. But although we don't have riches, still the tree is in the hall, and we'll find the love we're given is the greatest gift of all. Have a good Woodstock Christmas from every girl and boy. Have a good Woodstock Christmas and the new year filled with joy. we've been. We will keep our date with Santa along the village green. And with all our friends around us, we'll be warm as we can be, while the snow makes something magic out of every single tree. Have a good Woodstock Christmas from every girl and boy. Have a good Woodstock Christmas and a new year filled with joy. Have a good Woodstock Christmas from every boy and girl. Have a good Woodstock Christmas and the best year in the world.
An Americana Christmas was produced by Bob Kaminsky and Robert Burke Warren, written by Robert Burke Warren. Our executive producer is Lizzie Van. An Americana Christmas was engineered by Robert Frazza at the Bearsville Theater, Bearsville, New York. Special thanks to Gary Burke for Christmas at the Almanac Hall and to Cynthia Adler for narrating Christmas 1932.